A man who stabbed a neighbour and shot an officer with a crossbow after attempting to hunt down police has been jailed. Aylesbury Crown Court head Jason King had stabbed neighbour Alistair Mawuto with a small knife during an altercation which had arisen as a result of a long-standing dispute. Police were called to the scene on School Close in High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire, where King shot repeatedly at officers with a crossbow out of his upstairs window before chasing them with the weapon and shooting an officer, the court was told. The 55-year-old was later shot once by police in the stomach after refusing to put down the weapon when confronted by officers. Jason King was jailed for 9 years, with a further 3 years on extended licence, having previously pleaded guilty to unlawful wounding, having an article with a blade or point, having an offensive weapon, wounding with intent, and a fray regarding the incident on May the 10th last year. The court sentencing hearing heard that on the day before the shooting, King said his windows had been broken by a neighbour and had called the police. Sentencing King, Judge Jonathan Cooper said he had been motivated in part during the shooting by revenge and a sense of grievance towards his neighbours and police who he believed had not handled the incident regarding his window appropriately. Judge Cooper said, "I know that you purchased the crossbow. I don't accept it was for recreational purposes. I consider that this was an attempt by you to arm yourself in the event of need," he added. The judge said that King's actions, including chasing officers and continuing to shoot at them, were evidence of him attempting to settle a score with police. It was as if you were trying to hunt down the officer, chasing him, aiming at his body, he added. Prosecutor Graham Smith said the officer had seen King grinning as he exited his address before shooting him in the leg, resulting in a 2 to 3 centimetre wound near to an artery. King persisted in pointing the crossbow at other officers who confronted him, and given that he had already shot an officer, police decided to shoot him, the prosecutor said. Mr. Smith said it was the prosecution's case that it was great fortune the officer who was shot had not suffered greater injuries, and that King had appeared to be hunting and stalking the police. In a statement read to court, Mr. Mawuto, 63, who suffered a 2 centimetre wound as a result of the stabbing, said the incident had affected me more than I would ever imagined, and that a doctor had said his wound could have been fatal had it been a few centimetres higher. The officer shot by King said the incident had changed my outlook on life a bit, and that he feels more protective about his colleagues now. In a statement read by Mr. Smith, the officer said, "I don't want anyone else to experience what I experienced. I hear jobs coming through on the radio, and I don't want my colleagues going out to them." He added that it had knocked his confidence, and a doctor had told him the injury could have been catastrophic. In mitigation, Mark Kimsey, defendant, said King accepted the incident was very frightening for those involved and that he had been suffering from a worsening mental condition. Mr. Kimsey said it was not illegal to possess the crossbow and that an adult is entitled to own an item without a license. He said the item is one that can be freely purchased by anybody and costs less than £20 and was described as a pistol crossbow. Mr. Kimsey added it appeared at the time the defendant believed he was able to speak to the neighbour's dog and speak in dog language, adding that King thought he had contact with an Egyptian god. King of School Close, High Wycombe, waved and made a heart gesture with his hands towards members of his family who were seated in the public gallery. The defendant, wearing a green long-sleeved top and a wooden beaded necklace, shook his head and interrupted the judge at points during the hearing. An investigation into the shooting of King by the police watchdog praised the courage and professionalism and sound judgment of officers involved in the incident. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.